All right, going to make this little video to hopefully show how Taunt works in EverQuest. A lot of people don't really understand how it works, so hopefully this is helpful for beginner players or people who just want to learn more about how EverQuest works. But the TLDR here is that the way Taunt works is that it adds you to the top of the aggro list. So whoever is the highest on the aggro list of the mob, when there's a successful taunt, it basically it basically gives the aggro +1. So if I have 100 aggro and Drux over here taunts the mob off of me, he will have 101 aggro. So basically, just to kind of display how it works, we'll have Drux attack the mob, and then I will taunt. And you can see here he's switched over to Xeris, so he's targeting Xeris now. If Drux successfully taunts, you can see it switched back to Drux. And vice versa. So Drux has got aggro, he switched over to me. Drux can taunt it off, switched to Drux. Now he's bouncing between us right now. And the reason he's doing that is because basically we're both attacking him and we're generating, roughly equivalent amounts of aggro. I'm going to use Insight on Drux real quick. This is a warrior ability that generates aggro. So I'm going to Insight a couple times. So what I want to do is show kind of the amount of aggro that gets generated by various either spells or abilities or attacks or whatever, and how, kind of exhibit how Taunt works. So I've gotten 2 Insights off. I'm going to do 1 more. And then what I'm going to do is taunt the mob off of Drux. And I'm going to zone out, and then I'll zone back in, and then we'll see how much it takes to get the mob back. So yeah, basically the other thing to note here is that if you taunt and you already have aggro, you get a message that says you already have your target's attention. This basically means that just mashing the taunt button over and over, just pressing taunt over and over again, doesn't work. I know a lot of players that are not as experienced just smash the taunt button every time it's up, but that's not how taunt works. Taunt does basically nothing if you've already got it. Alright, so I've gotten like 3 or 4 Insights off. I'm going to taunt. So now you can see I press the taunt button and now he's switched over to Xeris. So now he's attacking me. So I've got the aggro now. I'm zoning out with Drux to clear his aggro. And then I will zone back. And the Drux computer has frozen, so that kind of sucks. But hopefully this makes sense, how Taunt works. Alright, cool. It's zoning now. I'm hoping that I don't die. So just to display the message again, so if I press Taunt now when I have aggro, oh, there's another guard. But anyways, it says you already have your target's attention. Again, which means that I'm not doing anything right now. I'm not generating any more aggro. I'm going to cast a darkness spell, which gives me even more aggro. Darkness is one of the better aggro spells for Shadow Knights. I'll do another video later that goes through some of the Shadow Knight spells and their aggro generating abilities. I think there's some misconceptions about which SK spells are better or worse than others at generating aggro. I've kind of done some testing on this, so I'll do a little video about that later on. Okay, so Drux is back here. So Xeris now has a ton of aggro. So if I insight, you can see I incited on Drux. I haven't picked up aggro on the mob yet. So we'll see how long it takes me to pick him up. It should be quite a while. But you'll be able to see that if I get a successful taunt, it should basically just immediately flip. Alright, so 2 insights doesn't hold aggro. And again, I'm not even doing anything on Xeris at all. I'm literally just standing here where Drux is actually attacking, doing some DPS. He's hasted. It's got a cool looking sword. I'm going to do a 3rd insight real quick. See if that does it. Nope, it doesn't. Alright, so basically, hopefully this explains how it works, but now I'm going to taunt, and you can see here I press taunt, and all of a sudden it switches back to Drux. It should switch over to me pretty quickly because Drux only has 1 more aggro than I do. So, for example, if I cast this, Darkness, it probably will switch back to me. And it did. So hopefully this explains, well, how aggro works in EverQuest, and specifically how the taunt button works, and what the ability itself does. Now we can play ping pong, except when you get a failed taunt. Let's see, I've taunted on Drux. And I've gotten 2 failed taunts in a row, but now I do terror, and now I'm basically just ping-ponging the mob back and forth, as you can see. If you just look at my target here, you'll see it's just going back and forth between us. Alright, thanks for checking out the video, and I will be doing some more EverQuest related videos / tutorial things as we go. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks guys, see you later.